The first time I went freeskiing in Japan, I made some mistakes that could have cost my life. And the worst part here is, it's not even a joke. I wandered Tokyo's metro, dragging all my snow gear with me. I didn't have a SIM card to be able to call help. I didn't know you hardly get any painkillers there, and I went alone without any company. You know, I had been dreaming about this trip to Japan my whole life. So I worked long hours to get the money, and you know, the powder fever was high. So high that it made me ignore some safety basics. Now I'm actually heading back again. The time is 9 p.m. My flight leaves tomorrow and I haven't packed, but I want to tell the stories to you before. I will also tell you how I'm solving these problems this time, and I'm sharing some unique dangers in Japan freeski terrain that you might not even think about. Tokyo and Snowgear. Do not, and I repeat, do not go adventuring around in Tokyo with all the snow gear with you. In Japan, actually, they have a system where they bring the ski equipment to the resort near you. It's completely normal and doesn't cost much, so that's the way Japanese people do it. Dragging luggage and snowboard bag through crowded metro in Tokyo, you know, 4 stairs up, 4 stairs down wasn't the greatest idea, so ship your gear. The SIM card problem. This was just plain dumb on my part. So in Japan I bought a SIM card to be able to use the data and access the internet. But in Japan, foreigners don't easily get a SIM card that allows calls also. I swapped out my Finnish SIM card, so then I could only access internet. But you know, if I would have to call the emergency services, I couldn't make calls. The solution here is eSIM cards. Keep the original SIM card in your phone and buy eSIM for the internet access. That way, with your regular SIM card, you can make still calls in emergency situations, and with the eSIM you can access the internet. Third, the local medication. In Japan, they're not exactly keen on handling out painkillers, even though you would have a fracture.
Wow! Ai saatana.
Last time I tried to find something for a light headache, paracetamol, or in the USA called acetaminophen, and I found only 300 milligram doses. And in Finland, adult uses 1 gram 3 times a day. So I had to pop 3 to get any relief. That's basically all they had, so my advice would be to bring your basic painkillers from your country with you. And keep in mind, anything potential for abuse might be banned in Japan. You can't even use some prescribed medications, even though you have the prescription with you, so check the list. I have added a link that I found for Japan's controlled substances in the description, so you can check it out from there and just use Google. Fourth, going solo without guide or companions. This can be a huge mistake. First of all, freeriding isn't safe to do alone, and going to unfamiliar terrain always requires lots of research and comes with the risk always. I was so focused on fulfilling this dream that I wanted to go even though it meant going solo. Then I noticed from Instagram that Kaneli Taneli and Ellu are also heading to Japan. I asked when they would be arriving, and it turns out their flight landed just 1 hour before mine in Sapporo, Hokkaido, the northern island. We joined forces for the first week. I'm so happy this happened. They are still my dear friends and we occasionally ride together. So together we explored Furano area, and there is this one site, Hokkaido Wilds, that helped us, but I want to emphasize that going out to unfamiliar terrain with only online tips is dangerous. It involves a great risk, so you have to know what you're doing. So assessing if you can go without a guide or by your own is your decision to make, but I want to say if you are even slightly unsure, you should get a guide. Last time I also rented a car, and I was lucky to visit Asahikawa, Rusutsu, Niseko, Moiwa, Sapporo Kokusai and Kiroro, to just mention a few. Then I met a German couple and we toured together for a few days. I also met other Finns, and they include the buddies I'm traveling with this time. So traveling solo turned out well for me, but it could have been catastrophe or even death for me. This time we are heading out to the southern island, Honshu, on a trip organized by Antti Autti. The first week's guides are from legendary Takumi Nagai's team, and the second week Antti Autti will be guiding us. So this time I get to explore the areas with the guides. It's lots of safer way to do it. We will be doing both lift accessed and touring ourselves, depending how we get the best snow with the least effort, I think. So we're basically chasing the best snow. As a starting point, I strongly recommend taking a guide, or you have to be very advanced in risk assessment and you have to know in what danger you're putting yourself into, and you have to agree with that. Next, let's talk about a couple unique dangers in Japan. Volcanic rivers. When you're riding in a meter of snow, you might quickly come across a streaming water that flows freely, openly, and it disappears back under the snow and ice. So if you fall into one of these and go under the ice, you are dead. These are caused by warm volcanic waters and they stay open even during the winter time. They can be really hard to spot between all that snow. I have a couple of clips what I found last time, so you get to see them.
Oh! Oja! 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 Varo!
Next one, tree wells. So as you know, Japan gets ridiculous amount of snow. So this snow accumulates and it forms pits around bases of fir trees. They are called tree wells. If you ride too close to a tree, you can fall into these wells and they can be several meters deep down. So these are just two more reasons to hire a guide. I can recommend some companies that my friends work in. I have a few friends who work in Japan as a guide, so I'll link them down. Despite all this, Japan is definitely worth visiting for freeriding and the culture. First time there, I felt like I landed on another planet. The polite people, the snow, the tiny cars. You know, even the most remote petrol station has the toilet seat warmed. The country is so different than what we have here. It feels like a different planet. And the powder, it's unreal. Unreal! I highly recommend the trip. Be respectful for locals. Remember you are a guest in their country and everything will go well. So here goes my huge thanks to Japanese people. It felt like second home. I started even thinking of buying a house from there, getting a girlfriend and all of this. And I can't be happier now going second time. Are you planning a trip to Japan? Subscribe for more tips and let me know in the comments what your favorite ski resorts is. Bye!